Well, we're coming into week, what is it, 4 now, I think. And unfortunately, rain has stopped play. There's some pretty heavy weather happening at the moment. 4 typhoons, can you believe that? 4 typhoons in a row going across the Philippines. The third one's about to come through now. The fourth one is coming down quite low as well, and they're heading in a sort of northwesterly direction, which is quite unusual. This time of year, we're told they normally go to the north. It's caused havoc up in Porto Galera, El Nido. A number of boats have been washed up ashore. We've been seeing video clips and photos of the damage being done, and it's really quite sad. As a consequence, down this end of the South China Sea, we get the tail end effect of that. So obviously lots of wind and rain. So the guys have not been able to do any work at all. But this morning they're back on the case, and I've just got them to finish off cleaning the topsides. Now, we had a bit of a problem with the topsides because we had a lot of oil and muck, squid ink, all sorts of things, and they tried lots of different products, and we eventually ended up using something called Magiclean. Local product, not sure what's in it, probably diluted hydrochloric acid. I guess it's some kind of kitchen degreaser. Anyway, that seems to be working with a bit of stainless steel polish, believe it or not, and that has been getting rid of that horrible muck. The other thing we've been doing is to grind out all the little osmosis spots, and we've got quite a lot of them, but most of them, I'd say 90% of them, are literally just in the filler. So the good thing is that we can just grind back the filler, but a few of them have gone back into the fiberglass, which is a bit disappointing. I've been grinding them out with the Dremel, and one of the guys is now going around just buffing them up. The question is, can we fill them? Because with the rain, we have a 4 to 5 hour window before in between filling them and sanding them. If we leave it any later than that, the filler, the Co-Sand marine filler, goes too hard to sand. So yeah, it's a kind of juggling game at the moment. Of course, the advantage with all this rain is that it's keeping the decks clean. The boys on Saturday cleaned the decks because there's a lot of anti-foul dust that was getting on the boat and in the boat. And I know someone is about to pull a face behind me, isn't she? There we go. What a twat. I'm going to take you to the office cum shop because I've got to pick up a couple of bits and pieces. There's Glyn, dog lady of the yard, and so it's mask on. And the reason why I want to come in here is because when Shafiq and Siti found out that we have a YouTube channel, they got very excited and they insisted that I come in and film them. So here they are.
Hello.
So tell me, what goes on here? They're a little bit camera shy. What were you going to do when I had the camera, Siti?
Siti,
come on.
Siti,
don't be shy. You were all like, oh, bring the camera, I want to be on the camera. Where are you now? Absolutely hopeless. And this is what she's like when I come in to look for sandpaper. As soon as I come in, she hides behind the desk. Trying to get service here is hopeless. Back to the P-bracket, and if you remember, we had that big hole in it, hollow P-bracket. And so we've ground out one of the welds, and what I was able to do was to shove a nozzle from a tube of silicone, a gun 2/3 of a tube up into the P-bracket. Put a bit of tape on just to stop it from oozing back out. So we'll take that off and we'll get that cut re-welded. Obviously some of that silicone is going to heat up inside, but hopefully there should be enough in there to stop any water seeping back in should we get another issue with the weld. But hopefully, of course, if the job is done properly, then we won't have this problem again.
What I'd like to know is that a good idea? Was that a good idea? I don't really understand.
Yeah, you know, with hindsight, I'm wondering whether it was a good idea or actually a stupid idea.
Oh.
Well, if you think about it, because that had moisture in it, filling it up with silicone is potentially going to trap any moisture that might be in there.
Yeah.
If moisture can still get in there, it could get trapped in there. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. The idea is, of course, is that it was free of moisture. It's been sealed up, and I don't know.
Right, so was it free of moisture?
Yeah.
Right, well, we'll probably haul out, well, we will haul out in a year. And then it needs a thoroughly good look again.
Well, I mean, it's difficult now, isn't it? Because we've re-welded it. So, but we've definitely got to keep an eye on it. I mean, the worry is of course, is that it could rust from inside out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, we'll just have to keep an eye on that. Unfortunately, that whole area caused me so many bloody headaches. We'll come on to more headaches next week with that, because I think some of you who know your stuff might have worked out a slight issue with doing that re-welding.
Yes.
I'm not going to give the game away this week, but if you think you know, put it in the comments below.
Okay, we'll find out. In the meantime, it's time for a mid-roll ad.
Well, it's all go today, isn't it? So if you remember, I've filled in this P-bracket with silicone, which is now going to get melted to buggery by the welder. And what we've got to do is weld back into there. There's also a pit here, and then maybe a couple of pits underneath we might need to weld as well. Well, rain stopped play yesterday afternoon, but today it's a glorious day. I knew it would be. I predicted this. That is why we have saved today for the filling. So the idea is now is that Nazwan is going around with the acetone and he's cleaning out all of the holes that we have drilled out and sanded around to provide a key for the filler, which Antoine is going to be filling. Something like that. The idea is that one cleans with acetone, the other one follows behind with the filler. Now remember, this filler, it's a marine filler by Kosan. Can't get the West system here, but don't forget, of course, Esper is pretty much made up of Kosan epoxy. So we're quite comfortable with using Kosan. The idea is they'll fill in this morning, and then this afternoon, after about 4 or 5 hours of drying, they'll sand it before it completely cures.